Howdy! Recently I've been feeling kind of weird. Just 2020 is finally starting to get to me. And I thought today I would just do something kind of light and fun, and so I'm going to do a couple of personality tests. I am actually a little bit obsessed with personality typing and tests and things like that, so the tests that I'm going to take today I've actually already taken. And if you are a follower on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, you may already know what my MBTI type is because I have posted it there before. But if you don't, you will find out today. And what I want to find out, because it's been about a year since I've taken this test, I want to know if my personality type has changed, because I, as a person, have changed dramatically in the past year. So I guess it's a little bit of an experiment. We'll see if I get something different than what I've always gotten in every single test I've ever taken before, and I've taken a lot of tests. I'm going to start off with the Myers-Briggs type test, so the MBTI test, and that is the personality type with 4 letters. So there's E, I, S, N, T, F, or J, P. And so I'm going to find out which combination of those letters is my 4 letters, although I think I already know what it's going to be. So let's go ahead and take the 16 personalities test, which is probably the most famous one. All right, here we go. First question. You enjoy vibrant social events with lots of people. Yes and no. I can do them occasionally, but it's not my main source of happiness, if you will. I wouldn't do it every single week. So I'm gonna say I sort of agree. I'm in the middle on that one. I'm really on the middle. You often spend time exploring unrealistic yet intriguing ideas. Oh, yes. That's daydreaming. I daydream all the time. Your travel plans are more likely to look like a rough list of ideas than a detailed itinerary. Absolutely. I cannot stand planning out anything, really. I'm more of a go with the flow kind of person. You often think about what you should have said in a conversation long after it has taken place. If you had asked me this question a couple years ago, that would have been very much agree, but I've gotten a bit more confident in myself lately, and so I would say that now it's gonna be still sort of agree. If your friend is sad about something, your first instinct is to support them emotionally, not try to solve their problem. Agree. It would be a challenge for you to spend the whole weekend all by yourself without feeling bored. You mean my every single day? I never get bored. It would not be a challenge at all. That's easy. You are still bothered by the mistakes you made a long time ago. Again, I'm more confident now, so not so much. I'm gonna say I midway disagree. At parties and similar events, you can mostly be found farther away from the action. I would say, yeah. Most of the time. Most of the time I'm in a corner talking to my little group of people and keeping to myself, mostly. Unless there's a dance floor, because I love to dance, and I don't really care if people see me dancing like an idiot as much as I care if I sound like an idiot, if that makes any sense. You often find it difficult to relate to people who let their emotions guide them. Disagree, because I am one of those people. When you sleep, your dreams tend to be bizarre and fantastical. Oh my god, yeah. My dreams are weird, let me tell you, and they are vivid too. I've had entire movies on almost every night. It's ridiculous. You usually lose interest in a discussion when it gets philosophical. Oh no, I love philosophical stuff. You would never let yourself cry in front of others. I wish. In my mind, that's how I am, but in reality, I've cried in front of so many people, and it's so frustrating. You feel more drawn to places with a bustling and busy atmosphere than to more quiet and intimate ones. No. When it comes to making life-changing choices, you mostly listen to your heart rather than your head. Yeah. You usually prefer to get your revenge rather than forgive. Strongly disagree. Man, the people I've forgiven and the stuff that I've forgiven, mm. You always know exactly what you want. God, I wish I did. When in a public place, you usually stick to quieter and less crowded areas. Absolutely. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. Oh, I disagree. I'm really empathetic, and it kind of made me a doormat for a very long time. When you know someone thinks highly of you, you also wonder how long it will be until they become disappointed in you. No, not really. I don't care that much. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Comfortable? No. Do I do it? Yeah, sometimes. So I'm gonna slightly disagree because I don't really feel comfortable. You often drift away into daydreaming about various ideas or scenarios. Yes, I daydream way too much. You look after yourself first and others come in second. This is another one of those, if you had asked me, a year or two ago, I would have said absolutely disagree. I would have looked after others before myself, but as I've gotten older, I've noticed that if you do not care for yourself first, you cannot care for anybody else. So I'm going to actually agree with that now. Even when you have planned a particular daily routine, you usually just end up doing what you feel like at any given moment. Absolutely, yes. Man, I will sit down just before bed and write out this nice, perfectly bulleted list of things that I want to do the next day or that week or whatever. And I wind up doing nothing. None of the things on there. I do everything but the things on that list. Ugh. You have got detailed education or career development plans stretching several years into the future. No. Nope. I wish I could be one of those people, but I've always found that whenever I come up with some sort of plan in that sort of strain, it never works out. And quite often it works out better than I ever imagined it would, so I just kind of leave it up to fate now. You rarely dwell on your regrets. I actually strongly agree with that. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than to organized and consistent efforts. Yeah, very much so. So, like, anytime I have one of those bursts of energy, I know that I have to take advantage of it. And if someone breaks it, I get kind of angry because it takes me so long to get back on that train. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Another one of those, a year ago, if you had asked me, I would have said strongly agree. I'm only slightly agree now because I have learned ways to control my emotions a bit better. You frequently find yourself wondering how technological advancement could change everyday life. Oh my god, yeah. Like VR, think about all the crazy things we're going to be able to do with VR in the future. Like, everyone's working from home now because of the global situation. And with VR, we can essentially be in different countries and go into a virtual meeting room and feel like we're in the same room. That's pretty cool. You still honor the commitments you have made, even if you have a change of heart. Yes, I strongly value honesty, and I used to be pretty dishonest, and I didn't realize how dishonest I was, so this is something I actually make a very, very, very strong effort to uphold. I knew I was going to get it, so apparently I have not changed. Actually, I did change because I was T before. I was turbulent. And now I'm A, but that's like the only change. I'm right in the middle of turbulent and assertive. So that's the only thing that's changed since the last time I took this. I have always been an INFP on every single one of these tests I've ever taken, and I've taken them multiple times throughout the span of like 7 years. I'm not an INFP T, I'm an INFP A now. I used to be T. So I am 81% introverted. No surprise there. I am 81% intuitive and 86% feeling, 82% perceiving or prospecting. Very squarely in the INFP category. So the INFP is the mediator personality, and it says mediator personalities are true idealists, always looking for the hint of good in even the worst of people and events, searching for ways to make things better. While they may be perceived as calm, reserved, or even shy, mediators have an inner flame and passion that can truly shine. Comprising of just 4% of the population, the risk of feeling misunderstood is unfortunately high for the mediator personality type. But when they find like-minded people to spend their time with, the harmony they feel will be a fountain of joy and inspiration. And that is very accurate to me. So I am definitely always looking for the good in people, and that has gotten me in trouble on more than one occasion. And I am really reserved, and a lot of people think that I'm pretty calm. Up here, I'm not quite so calm, but on my face, I'm usually pretty calm. I definitely have an inner flame, like this burning, like, desire to live. So I was originally going to also do the, I think it's Enneagram. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but there's another one that's like 9 numbers or something. I've taken that like once in the past, but I don't even remember what I got. So I was going to take that, but I have this feeling that this video is going to be really, really, really long if I do that, and you guys are probably getting bored, so yeah, anyways, my little experiment shows that despite all the changes I've gone through in this year, my main personality type anyway is still the same. The only difference was that A and the T, which I actually didn't really look into. Maybe I'll look into that before I end this video. Hold on, let's see. So it says that the A and the T, it says this trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. So that makes sense as to why that changed, because a year ago I was more turbulent, meaning that I wasn't quite so confident in my own decisions, and I've gotten far more confident, so now I am the assertive, the A. That makes a lot of sense. So I guess our main, base of our personality pretty much stays the same throughout most of our life, but I guess we can become a little more assertive or a little less assertive as time goes on. So yeah, that's my findings here, my anecdotal evidence of one. But I hope you guys like this. If you enjoyed it, then please subscribe to stick around for more so that I can see you in the next one. But if you're not in the next one, thank you so much for watching this one. Bye-bye!